he spins all this. Like, he was asking for 1.5 million, which, you know, in Eddie Hearn bucks is, even in this post-pandemic world, is not a significant amount. Like, you can get, and you did get 1.5 million, you know, for a fight like that. I saw that video he posted, and I like Gary Russell, but I saw that video that he posted. It didn't make a lot of sense, where he's like, well, we're not sure if Matchroom's going to buy it or DAZN's going to buy it. Of course they're going to buy it. That's a good fight. That's exactly the kind of fight that Matchroom and DAZN ultimately wants. Russell's been on a weird streak of late. He's challenging Terrence Crawford. He's challenging Devin Haney. Nothing's actually coming to fruition. How do you think he sort of spins this after it's all said and done?
I don't think he can. I really don't think he can. I think he put himself in a bad position.
I have a very, very special guest, the one and only Bill Haney. How you doing, Bill?
Yes, sir.
What's going on? So thank you for showing up to Split Decision again. First of all, I want to start this off by stating that it's official. Devin Haney versus Gamboa is official for November 7th on DAZN. Now, my question to you is, just like the Tank Davis fight, they pushed the fight back, announcing that there's going to be crowd. Is it safe to say the Devin Haney versus Gamboa fight is going to have a crowd, or that's dependent on the location?
Well, thank you. That's a great question. First of all, I got to say, AKHi, thank you, brother, for having me on your show.
Pleasure,
you know, yeah, you as always, you know, you're doing an amazing job, brother. You know, you covering this thing with no biasness. You know what I mean? And I'm happy to say I've been watching, and you're still undefeated, brother. So you know what I mean? You know,
we're still undefeated. We both undefeated.
Right. Okay. Yeah, like I say, thank you for having me. Now, to answer to your question, of course, we would love for the fans to be there. We would love for our family members to be there. But unfortunately, from what we're hearing, is for the athlete safety and also everyone else, that it's going to be closed doors, which is disappointing. But at the same time, I have a sense of that's the right thing to do right now. Also, prayers go out to Eddie Hearn and his family, because I just hear that Eddie's been diagnosed with it too, and he's under quarantine right now. So,
oh, he have COVID as well?
Yeah, he has COVID. That's what I just heard, and I got a text message from him and Devin as well. So prayers go out to him and his family during this time. You know, and anyone else, yeah, definitely, and anyone else just going through that, for sure. Prayers goes out to them and their family as well.
My prayers goes out to Eddie. It was shocking to me to hear Tank Davis fight having crowd. That was shocking. So we could confirm that Devin Haney versus Gamboa is going to be in the bubble.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I want to say unfortunately, but at the same time, I want to say fortunately, we're going to be in the bubble. And Devin, as an athlete, and the crowds, you know, will be protected, and you'll get a chance to watch it on DAZN. And fortunately for the people, well, not to just jump right into it, but we have Devin on the 7th of November, and then we come back right the next weekend after that, and it's Jacobs and Rosario. You know, for $20, you know, sign up to DAZN now, and you're gonna get Devin. You're gonna get Devin, and it's gonna be a complete fireworks against Gamboa. We're fortunate that Gamboa and his family, team Gamboa and their family, wonderful family, has stepped up and challenged Devin for the world title. Of course, we know he's a warrior. He's been in there with the likes of, you know, the Terrence Crawfords of the world, in which that we know that Terrence Crawford, he arguably hurt him throughout that fight. You know what I mean? And we know Terrence is a bad boy. So, you know, he's been in there, beat Orlando Salido, who's given Lomachenko, the great Vasil Lomachenko, his first and only loss, you know. So to have him, as well as Tank Davis, who in the, I guess, less than a year ago, he had Tank Davis as an adversary, an opponent, and he went 12 rounds with him, you know, in a contested match. So we have everything that we're looking forward in Mr. Gamboa, you know, and we plan to show the world, you know, what Devin Haney is made of and how much he has evolved as a fighter since his last outing, which is over a year ago.
Right. Now, when Tank Davis fought Gamboa, he said that was his most difficult fight yet. Leading up to the fight, he said Gamboa is his toughest fight. Is that fair to say when it comes to Devin as well? Is Gamboa, Devin Haney, toughest fight yet, or toughest opponent on paper?
Well, I would even arguably say that it might have been Terrence Crawford's toughest opponent when we talk about that, but by Tank Davis, it definitely was Tank Davis's toughest opponent, and 1,000% is Devin's toughest opponent as well. So yeah, we're definitely get a chance to take a look at Devin. Him being put on paper, it is against an adversary or an opponent that's his toughest to date. A world champion, Olympic medalist. You know what I mean? His accolades can go on and on about him. He's an experienced fighter that we do not take lightly by any stretch of the imagination.
When it comes to Gamboa, he obviously have so many attributes that we could talk about. So what do you guys have to be careful of approaching the Gamboa fight? Is it his explosiveness? Is it his power? Is it his speed? Is it the whole package? What are you guys being cautious of fighting Gamboa?
Well, I think all of the above.
Too much of the game plan.
Well, no, all of the above, exactly. I mean, Gamboa, I mean, he speaks for himself. He's coming, he's a warrior. He represents Cuba, and he represents that wonderful team over there, that La Finca farm, who has produced several world-class amateur athletes, and I think several pros. I don't know if Laura came out of that program. But one thing that you can get a technically sound fighter out of that program. So, I mean, he represents a whole lot. Devin and me, we've watched Gamboa for forever. Of course, as long as Devin's career. So, I mean, you know, we expect an awkwardness that a Cuban style will bring, where you don't traditionally see it here in the U.S. You know, you won't see it in the gym. You know, once you're in the ring with a Cuban fighter, you'll know it's a whole different style. It's a whole different animal to deal with. You know, and we expect that out of Gamboa. We look forward to it. We'll show the world.
And credit to Devin, his last 4 opponents, I believe, they were fighters from the coincidentalist. That's the most dangerous fighters in the pros in the boxing game. Scott said, "Hey, AKHi have Batman call in again." He more than welcome to. You know, we want all the smoke.
You know, like one of the callers just said, have Batman call. Why would you have Batman call and not have Gary call or Fortuna or, you know what I mean, anybody else that's on the list? You know, I love my people. You know, I respect you guys. We do this shit for you guys. You know, we actually got to fight now. We're not joking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't, you know, this ain't no game. But if someone's realistically just representing another team, if they should show up, I would respect them coming up, you know, in the ranks just like we came up. And we came out calling motherfuckers out. We came up ready. You know, if someone should call us out, you know, we would go into camp and we fight. You know, we're not bogus begging. We're not playing, or we're calling you out, and that means that, you know, the fight is gonna happen next year or none of that kind of shit. Devin, fortunately for Devin, you were speaking on being a 7-figure fighter. He was a 7-figure fighter before he was able to even go in a club. You know, so his motivation and his hunger is extremely high, as he always points out. You know, so I think he's more about legacy, and I make sure the figures match up to what his performances are, and not under. Or if not, hopefully I could do my job and he's getting paid more than what he should be. But we're in the business of prize fighting, and like I said, if anyone else should think that we're getting too big of a prize, then I'm on the phone right now.
Fighters deserve every single penny, because every time they step in their ring, they put their life on the line. And I think it's safe to say that every hardcore boxing fan, Devin Haney should be his favorite fighter, because he's always willing to fight the best from an early age. He want to make his dream become a reality. That's why his nickname is The Dream. Now, speaking of Gary Russel, it's been 10 days since he came out with his new term sheet, and he stated on IG that he already sent it to you guys. Then he also added, "I'm about to send it right after the live." Now, can you confirm that you guys received it or not 10 days out?
No, we didn't. We've never received a term sheet. We've never received a term sheet. We've never received a response from Gary. We've never received nothing. Nothing. So let me reiterate that. We sent over a term sheet as an offer to Gary, with an understanding that he would be sending over a response to the term sheet with the date that he would be interested in, that he would be open to. We didn't receive a date. We didn't receive a response. We didn't receive anything. And of course, the infamous live video where he went on the live and said that we would be receiving it before he got off live. We didn't receive anything. But like I say, the the Devin Haney train keeps moving. You know, we have Eurorchis Gamboa, who's a unified world champion and a hell of a warrior that has stood up. He was just involved in a big fight, mega fight over there in Atlanta with Tank Davis, and on one leg and a torn Achilles, he fought to the bitter end with a very explosive and dynamite Tank Davis, who has power in both hands. And when we talk about that, and then we look around the landscape, and we understand why that Gamboa has been in those kind of fights, because he stands up, he raises his hand, and that's, in this business, that means a lot, and it says a lot. It speaks volumes of him as a fighter. Win, lose, or draw for him, he's a Hall of Fame fighter. It's what I learned from a guy, JFL. He said, free smoke fighters. He said, Devin is a free smoke, Gamboa is a free smoke fighter. You know, it's free smoke. You must take your hat off and respect that. That's why I take the time out and I say, you know, to the people, come out and take a look. Both Devin and Gamboa deserves that. Far as I know, that Gamboa is 100% healthy and he's coming to fight, and we don't expect anything else. But when speaking about this boxing per se, you know, we all need to have a camaraderie. We need to, you know, work together, because, you know, like in the great Don King said, working together works. I think that both Eddie with Matchroom, DAZN, and PBC, and Tom Brown have did a wonderful job in negotiating this Gamboa fight behind the scenes, while publicly we were kind of going through the whole Gary Russell saga. But in the end, we also showed that we can all work together. And sometimes silence, you know, you accomplish more in silence than you do, you know, publicly. So we weren't able to score the Gary Russell fight and publicly, but privately, we accomplished a big victory in the sense of we were able to work with PBC and getting a good fighter, a good name in Gamboa and Devin together.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm glad you guys found an opponent, a name opponent like Gamboa. That's going to be fireworks for the people that don't know. I mean, it ain't no secret. Gamboa, every time he's in a fight, is action-packed. You saw it with Gervonta. You guys saw it with Terrence. You saw it with Solito, and pretty much every single Gamboa fight. And we already know what Devin Haney brings to the table. He brings that sweet science and also that killer instinct that comes with it. So the show must go on, because Devin is the show. He's not going to pause his career. And since he is the boogeyman, since he's the boogeyman, it does not matter who he fights next, because every single name, every top level fighter in or around his division turned down the fight. So you must stay active. With that being stated, one of the most wanted people on Split Decision by the fans and by AKHi is Devin Haney. So when can we have Devin Haney on the show?
Oh, absolutely, brother. Whenever he's available, man. Whenever you want him to come on. What day you want him to come on?
Can he do Monday? Split Decision on Monday?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can see his, I know the schedule right now, especially with the media and stuff, brother. You got him. You got him.
Oh, man, I truly appreciate it.
You got him.
I truly appreciate it. So it's official. You guys heard it
from
Bill.
Monday at what time? But Monday at what time? Tell me the time.
Whenever Devin wants.
No, you give me a time. You give me a time so that then now that the people know, they'll know a time, and you tell me a time. It's like, let me see, 3? What about 3 West? No, 1 o'clock West Coast time on Monday. How about it? How about that?
All right, that's perfect. That will be 4 o'clock Eastern time on my time. So yes, sir. That would be perfect. And I truly appreciate it for that. But you obviously already been on Split Decision multiple times. But every time I have a guest, I must ask this question, because this is the $1 million question on Split Decision. I want to get your expertise on this dream fight. Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson. Who do you have winning that dream fight, and why?
Muhammad Ali, hands down, because the respect level that Mike has for Muhammad Ali, he wouldn't throw one punch. You know what I mean? He wouldn't throw a punch. You know, and it's just when you have that level of respect for a fighter, I mean, it's almost to a fighter's detriment. You know,
right.
I mean, obviously, I think if they were, you know, and Mike and his team and when they discuss, you know, the things that Mike has did to get to the point that Mike is at, then it becomes all business. But just the personalities of always watching Mike and Mike being around Ali and things that he said, not only publicly but privately, that he said to me and Devin, I don't think he would throw not one punch.
Right. Yeah, out of respect. Yeah. I mean, Mike Tyson, there's only probably one person in the world that love Muhammad Ali more than I do, is Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but respect. But I must reinsist, you know, feelings aside, let's say they don't know each other. Prime Mike Tyson, like that 21, 22 version of Mike Tyson, the focused version that haven't lost to that man in the mirror, against the Ali version before the Vietnam War. I'm talking about the best version of each other.
Muhammad Ali would embarrass Mike so much that I don't think Mike would fight ever again after he got in there with Ali in his prime.
Oh man! I mean, I got Ali winning as
Ali
well.
Played, but not only his athleticism, his length, you know what I mean. But Mike proved that he was a fighter that, you know, he brought everything. He came head on, you know, and Ali was the quintessential of beating the bully, of you know, the matador, you know, and the bull. So, and with that being said, I would believe that Ali would control Mike, and especially Mike being a shorter fighter. You know, I think it would have to take a similar to what Frazier and Ali. But I don't know if Frazier, well, that's because Frazier and Customato and Ali, bro, you digging deep, bro. You digging deep now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You digging deep. But I'm definitely, I won't waver. I'm going with Ali.
Yeah, I mean, against Frazier, Ali didn't have them same legs too. You know, we got to remember that. And you know, I think, you know, Sonny Liston was also an opponent that fight kind of like Mike, but Mike obviously had more attributes, fast hand speed, so on and so forth. But, you know, you do have to lean toward Ali because of his attributes, his reflexes, and he had an iron chin. I remember when Frazier dropped Muhammad Ali in the 15th round, and Ali got up in like 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he had the iron chin that he could take it to the body and to the chin. Mike, on the other hand, if he don't get you out of there in 3 rounds, then you could hang in there with him, you know? So obviously I got to go with the matador against the bull in that fight, you know? But
Absolutely.
I know you guys, you know, Devin Haney, I believe Roy Jones trained him early on, like when he was still a youngin', when he was still a kid, I believe. And Roy Jones is fighting Mike Tyson at 53 years old. So what's your take on that, Bill? Do you think, who you got winning in that fight, if you want to talk about it? Because I know you know Roy Jones personally, so on and so forth. Well, what's your take on that fight?
Thanks for the question, though. But we know Mike and we know Roy, and we know them both a long time. In this business, it's like we just pointed out, if it's an opportunity for your peer, I don't know. It's hard to say adversary, but I would say one of your peers to make some money, even at 53. And I don't know what Roy's age would be. You sit down and you talk about it. So to see those two guys to entertain, you know, doing business, I mean, it's everything for me. You know, the winner will be the fans, I'm sure. You know what I mean? I'll be a winner by just seeing how Roy prepares to fight Mike being a heavyweight, a true heavyweight. And I don't think Roy has fought ever like a true heavy. John Ruiz, yeah, but he wasn't the same kind of heavyweight that Mike is. So I think, like I said, definitely the fans will be the winner in that fight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a great night. And, you know, you guys fighting Gamboa, and you know what they call Gamboa, Baby Mike. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's the call him, huh?
Yeah, that's what they call Gamboa when he came on the scene. They were calling him the Baby Mike, you know. So Devin, I don't know.
I thought I remember him being
like
called.
Ali?
I remember it was like the hurricane of Guantanamo or something like that. Yeah,
like a hurricane. I think so too.
Yeah.
I think because of his style, his explosiveness, they started calling him the Baby Mike.
It's crazy because it's crazy. Gamboa he's a legend, man, for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said before, man, it's always a pleasure talking with you, Bill. And you always pull up.
That was easy. That was easy, bro. It was easy today. We didn't have no smoke or nothing, huh?
It's always easy work. You know what I'm saying? We got trolls coming at us, but we got our facts in our pocket. That's why we 1,000-0, because we got facts. They got opinion. They fool with emotion. That's why it's facts over emotion. You know what I'm saying? Right. So at the end of the day, like I said, I'm gonna start calling Devin a Boogie Haney, because he is the boogeyman. It ain't even no longer the dream. You know what I'm saying? So
well, listen, I know when it come from you, it's the truth, because it's three things that's gonna come out: the sun, the moon, and the truth.
Yes, sir. You already know that's destiny right there, and they can't stop Devin Haney from getting to his destiny. He want to make his dream become a reality, and he's a force to be reckoned with. And to all of the fans that's tuning in, you guys must tune in on DAZN November 7th. Is a package. The next week, my man Daniel Jacob fighting as well. So, like I said, you guys don't want to miss the future of boxing. The next LeBron James in the sport of boxing. We already know they say Floyd Mayweather, the Michael Jordan of the sport. I truly believe Devin Haney could end up being the LeBron James of the sport of boxing. So with that being stated, any last thoughts you want to tell the public?
No, absolutely. No, absolutely, bro. You covered everything. I appreciate you, you know, and, you know, blessings on top of blessings. Until we talk again, stay strong, brother. Appreciate you guys and all the fans. We love and appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure talking with you. Like I said, we're gonna have Devin Haney, the Dream, this Monday, inshallah, on Split Decision. You guys tune in, show
1
love. Yes, sir.
1 p.m. 1 p.m.
and 4 p.m. Eastern time, depending where you at. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it, Bill, for always
thank you, brother,
and always spitting the truth. Thank you.
All right, brother. Peace.
Hold it. You're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I bear witness, there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.